wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant.
Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. Got Logan in the building with us today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Feels like it's been forever since we've been back in the studio, man.
And I think it has been since we've been able to get in here at the same time. We've got a good episode tonight. We got to do a little trash talk with old Jason over at Hall of Fame College Football. Y'all go check his channel out for sure. And
I love
we got us thinking, got us thinking, let's rank the Big 12 quarterbacks going into next season. He's pretty high on Dylan Gabriel. We'll see where we put him at. But Logan, go ahead and pull up our big board.
All righty.
All right. So, and many of y'all have seen a tier list just like this, you know, and we're just going to go team by team and we're going to rank them. Yeah, it messed up our names. We got to change our names. So, we're just going to rank them basically best to worst for the quarterbacks going into the next season. Some of this, you know, y'all bear with us a little bit. All right. We are a Texas Baylor podcast. So if we rank a quarterback who, like Texas Tech, they had 3 quarterbacks that played last year. I know Donovan Smith is leaving. Between Baron Morton and Tyler Show or Shuck or however you say his name, you know, I don't know if they've hit the portal or not. I have no clue. I don't follow Texas Tech. Those guys suck. So we're going to rank the one that we think will probably be the starter, and then we'll just go. So if we get one wrong, sorry. So we're just go in order. Start with Kansas State. Adrian Martinez or Will Howard. Who do we think is the starter?
I think it's going to be Will Howard, honestly.
Yeah, if they're both there, I don't see how it's not.
Yeah, I mean, with just like Adrian Martinez struggling besides on the ground, obviously, Will Howard can launch the ball. And
yeah,
he ended
Will
up
Howard's actually a solid thrower.
He ended up with how many more yards? Where is it at? 1,600 yards on 199 completions, and Adrian Martinez was 184 attempts for 1,261 yards. I mean, he had 6 touchdowns to 1 pick, Adrian Martinez did, and Will Howard had 15 touchdowns to 4 picks. And I felt like it's weird because Adrian Martinez started the majority of the games.
Yeah. Will Howard didn't play too terribly much. Then there were some games where they both played. Will Howard had a 149.6 QBR and Adrian Martinez with a 131.4. Neither are terrible. Neither are amazing. Just since it's our first, I would probably just go ahead and throw him in the pretender right in the middle.
Yeah.
I would lean more towards – if it's Will Howard as far as a solid quarterback, I'd lean more towards contender than Garbo.
Yeah.
But I don't really expect either one of them to be.
My thing with putting him at contender is that his targets aren't going to be as deep as they were this year because they had a lot of guys that were kind of under the radar that came and made plays for him. But they might have to rely on him. More. Yeah, they're going to have to without having Deuce Vaughn for sure.
For sure. Yeah. TCU, they're not going to have Max Duggan. They're going to have Chandler Morris. Now, you know what? You go first on Chandler Morris. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Did he play last year? I can't remember.
I think he got hurt in the first game.
Okay. He played 4 years last year in 2021 is what I'm talking about. He actually beat Baylor. He beat I don't even know how to say that. Dequanese? Never heard of that school. Lost to K-State, lost to Oklahoma State. I mean, he played pretty good against Baylor, really, throwing 71 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 461 yards. Goodness. He threw 1 ball against Georgia. He played 2 games this year. He started against Colorado, and that was it. I think right now, us not knowing really too terribly much about him, personally, I would put him at Garbo just because I haven't seen anything from him. Now, this might
Yeah.
move depending on how we rank the rest of the people, but I think he'd be in between Pretender and Garbo for me, just because I don't know too much about him. He played great
So
against us last year.
here's my thing. He technically won the starting job over
Yeah,
Chandler Morris.
he
And
did.
Chandler Morris was a Heisman finalist.
No, Max Duggan was
Right.
the Heisman finalist.
That's what I meant. Over Max Duggan. Due to the fact that there's no film, I can't put him at contender. But I wouldn't be surprised if halfway through the season we're thinking higher of the guy than we are right now. I can get behind Garbo. He's going to be his first season of actually getting a good amount of playing time. So I'd have no doubts that there's going to be some learning curve there for sure.
Oh yeah, especially TCU's losing a lot of their people. They're also bringing in a crazy amount of people from Alabama for some reason.
Yeah.
But
Moving into Texas Tech. Tyler Shuck, however you say his name, or Baron Morton, as far as who the starter is going to be, man, you got to imagine it's Shuck, right? Because he's a senior, but he's got to be coming back. He's only played in 4
that
seasons.
that's if he didn't graduate this year. Because I mean, how ESPN shows is that he could have been a redshirt senior, and they just didn't put redshirt on there. I mean,
But
Baron
yeah, well, I
Morton didn't
mean,
play terrible. I mean,
he
it
didn't
wasn't
play
great.
terrible, but
It
Baron
wasn't
Morton's a
great.
freshman, and this guy's going to be a redshirt senior
Yeah,
if he comes back, which I think he is because he didn't have a good enough season to go anywhere. And Donovan Smith is gone.
he didn't play great
So
either.
who?
No,
Donovan Smith?
no, Tyler Shook.
No,
Whatever.
neither one of them did. I mean, he technically played better, the same amount of touchdowns as Morton, 2 less picks, 1 less sack, and
Yeah,
130 QBR over a 118. Um, I I don't. The problem is Show's too old. Shuck, I think his name is Shuck. I think it's pronounced Shuck. He's too old to put in the contender because if he by this point you are the quarterback you are, I'd probably throw him in the pretender category.
fair,
Um,
fair.
well, yeah, I'd probably throw him in the contender or the golly. That's a tough one. What do you think? What are you thinking?
I mean, I'm just looking at his completion percentage being sub 60, barely, but sub 60. And then the
Just wait till you get to Quinn. It's bad.
yeah, I know. I know. A lot of those weren't on him, and I could say that especially after watching that Washington game. I mean, 7-4 touchdown to interception ratio. Eh.
Terrible. Yeah, pretty bad.
I'm leaning more towards Garbo.
Garbo.
I mean, this is
Yeah,
his
that's
second
pretty
school that I'm
garbage.
aware of because I know he came from Oregon.
Oregon. Yeah, he's pretty trash. Throw him in Garbo.
All right.
It's where you belong, Tyler Shuck. Show.
That's
Get a
what you
better
get
last
to have
name.
the weird last name.
All right.
But this
Hunter
one,
Deckers.
this
It's a
one,
fun
this
one.
one could be tricky. Could be tricky.
I don't think this one's tricky. I think this one's like obvious.
I mean, I think he's definitely a contender. Definitely.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
so.
if he can do what he did this past year with Xavier Hutchinson and then Noel, I
Yeah.
think was the guy. I mean,
He's gonna have to.
yeah,
He's a sophomore. He'll be. This is only his second year, or it's his third year. He redshirted. His only first year actually playing, and with some development, his touchdown to interception ratio is pretty trash, but he's gonna develop. He'll be okay. He'll get better. I like him as a contender. As far as like when at the end of the season they're gonna put together an All Big 12 team. I think Hunter Deckers can have a stat line that earns him a finalist, runner up, honorable mention somewhere. His numbers are
yeah,
going to be good enough to be up there.
he'll probably be second team if not honorable mention.
Yeah.
Now this one here,
Ooh.
Blake Shapen played good at times, and then why in the world is Tyron Jones not on the field? But did we take him out? No, we didn't. And for what reason? Who knows? But Blake Shapen, right under 2,800 yards on 368 attempts. 63.3% completion percentage doesn't sound bad. And then you look at the 18 touchdowns to a whopping 10 interceptions and 22 sacks. Now, most of those sacks are on him being incompetent, like Christian used to say about Casey Thompson. Personally, I don't know if I want to go Pretender or Garbo on this one.
I'm going to step in and be the voice of reason.
Of course. As always.
And not too much different. Though. I think it's either Pretender or Contender. And here's why. I think we saw enough out of him as a freshman. The talent is there. We've said it all year long, Logan. Y'all didn't have a number one receiver. None of y'all receivers would have, like, if they came to Texas, none of them would have played.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't have a number one. Armani Winfield this year can be that guy. Monterey Baldwin can step up and be that guy.
Etron Jackson, too.
Yeah. Josh Cameron, what's his name? Is it Josh Cameron?
Yep.
Somebody in that receiver room steps up and gives y'all a number one receiver option, and that'll benefit Blake. I'm okay if you want to put him at Pretender. I can side with that, but I really do believe a little bit of help from your offensive line and a solid receiver. I think Blake Shapen can be a solid quarterback. So it's up to you. You're the Baylor guy. I'm just saying. I can see a Contender, but I can throw him at Pretender. We'll see how it goes.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see how this all shakes up. I think he's better than Will Howard though, and I like how Chandler Morris is better than. I like that. I think he'll have a better season next year than him. Now, start us off with whoever we think this is gonna be.
This is quick, fast, in a hurry. The starter's probably going to be Alan Bowman, and even if it's Gunnar Gundy, who cares? They're garbage. He was trash at Tech. He was trash at where'd he go? Alan Bowman,
Michigan, third string.
Trash there. Never saw the field,
and
he's going to be trash at Oklahoma State. So who cares? Yeah, go ahead. What do you think? Am I right?
Exactly. That whenever I saw that Baylor was going after him, I'm just facepalm. Why?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Oklahoma State picked him up. And we got Sawyer Robertson out of it and RJ Martinez, which I thought was AJ for the longest. But to West Virginia for the going to be sophomore, Garrett Green. 55% completion, 43 of 78, 493 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 4 sacks. So obviously he didn't play much because JT Daniels, who was going to be gone.
He would have been in the Garbo if he was here.
He was definitely going to Garbo. If not, who? I feel like Garrett Green, we can't really say too terribly much because I don't think he played against Baylor. I can't remember him playing against Baylor. I don't know if he played against Texas or not. I don't really remember seeing him. I know that he balled out in one game where it's like, okay, that dude kind of didn't look bad. Let's see. Kansas State, he had 204 yards. Oklahoma, 138 with 1 touchdown. The only thing against Kansas State, he had 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He did play
against Oklahoma. He also had 14 rushes for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this guy good or Jason.
I mean, he's only 5 for 11. Oh no, he's a sophomore. He's gonna be a junior. He's 5'11", 200 pounds.
I gotta say, I will say, watching him, it seemed like when he came in, he could do some things. But I think I have a lot of recency bias just from that Oklahoma game because I watched that whole game hoping OU would lose. And I think most of my opinion on him is based off of that game. In all reality, he's pretty garbage.
I can agree with that. But now it comes down to, is he better than Tyler Show
No.
and Chandler Morris?
Potentially Tyler Show, but not Chandler Morris.
We'll leave him.
I mean, yeah,
We'll
it's potential. I don't even. Maybe Tyler Show's a senior, so you don't expect too much development out of a senior.
Yeah,
But this guy's only a sophomore, so he could be. You never know.
Yeah, for sure.
Kansas, dude. I think we might have our first team All Big 12 quarterback here. Jalen Daniels had a solid year. Unfortunately, he had some injuries, but he finished the season 152 for 230 attempts, a little over 2,000 yards, 73 as his long, 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 7 sacks,
That's a pretty good
162 QBR. That's and Kansas in a year that they end the season 6-7, I think. After going like 2-10 last year, if Jalen Daniels doesn't get hurt, I could honestly say we might have had like an 8-4, 9-3 Kansas team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the one thing that doesn't pop up instantly on what I believe what we're both looking at is his rushing yards, because he was able to only get 7 sacks because he was getting away from the pressure like crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
if this guy is healthy all year next year, now that I'm thinking about it, he could be the next RG3 in the Big 12, as far as how RG3 was whenever he was going out for that Heisman. So
Yeah, I'm trying to
I'd have
find
to look at his rushing
rushing.
yards.
He had 419 rushing yards for 5.5 yards per carry and 7 more touchdowns on the ground. So
That's not bad at all.
that's solid. I think he's a junior, so he'll a little bit more development, not getting hurt. He could have easily had a season where he's over 3,200 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and then seriously like another 12 on the ground. I think first team All Big 12.
I think I'm gonna say the same. I'm gonna
That's
move
up
him
to you. I can see
moving him up.
Blake being a contender.
Yeah,
Um,
possibly. If he starts, who knows? Ooh, which one you want to do first out of this?
well,
You want
it's
to do
your turn.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, it's your turn. So let's do a choke you.
Okay, we can do Oklahoma, I guess. So Dylan Gabriella, he was all right, I guess. I mean, he still threw the ball to us 3 times. Shout out to Jason. Appreciate that argument all over Twitter, my boy. 23 completions, 230 completions, 367 attempts, right under 63 completion percentage for 3,168 yards. What is that? 25 touchdowns to 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
Not terrible, I guess. But 25 sacks. Dude cannot move out of the pocket. He's like 5'10", I believe. That's Hunter Deckers. He's short. Oh, he's 5'11". What's up with the Big 12 and having short quarterbacks? Like, they're either real short or they're just like 6'4". I don't like Oklahoma, so it's hard for me not to be biased on this. I give Jason a hard time about it all the time just because he would kiss and lick the ground that's under Dylan Gabriel's feet for
He
some
would
reason.
kiss it like the A&M yell leaders do for their seniors.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what he'd do.
Jason is Dylan Gabriel's yell leaders.
Yes.
Could he be first team Big 12? Yes, sadly.
No.
He could also be a pretender at the same time.
I'm going to use Jason's own logic against him.
Oh, you're right. So,
Dylan, you want to do it? You want me to do it?
So,
who's going to do it?
You got it. You're going to have more fun
it?
with it. Yeah.
Jason Watkins, Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. I'm sure you're listening. If you're not, that's okay. But Your whole thing with Coach Sark is he's a 500 coach. He's a 500 coach. First of all, he's above 500 technically. Second of all, Dylan Gabriel ain't. When it comes to Power 5 teams, Dylan Gabriel 7-11, my boy. He is who he is. That boy's a pretender. He can put up some fancy stats every once. I wouldn't put him at Garbo.
No,
I think he's definition of pretender.
I think he's
Like,
better than Will Howard.
He's got 25 touchdowns. Congratulations. 6 of them were against Tech in the last game of the season. And 4 of them against Kansas State in a game that y'all lost. That's 10 touchdowns in 2 games. Other than that, he's 15? 15 touchdowns? I mean, that's nothing special. Now, mind you, yes, we could argue that maybe Blake Shapen, who maybe I am leaning more towards pretender than contender right now. But I'm sorry, dude. You don't get to throw 6 touchdowns in 1 game against Texas Tech, and that y'all lost both his best games. Y'all lost both of them. He still wasn't good enough for how garbage your defense is. Can't wait for that video.
Oh,
yeah, dude, he's a pretender. He'll put up some nice numbers, and he'll have everybody, including you, thinking that he's great, but in all reality, he's not. Y'all are used to having these transfer quarterbacks that come in and save the day,
and then they
Dylan
leave.
Gabriel ain't. Dylan Gabriel ain't that transfer guy.
Caleb Williams, Spencer Radler. Those are supposed to be like the next big thing, and then they're both gone for some reason.
Yeah, Jason likes to talk a lot about development. Y'all have never developed a quarterback. Y'all get a transfer quarterback in, and
From
they
Alabama.
come from Alabama. I guess what's his face came from Tech, didn't he? Didn't one of them come from Tech?
No.
I thought Baker Mayfield came from Tech.
Oh, yeah.
Kyler Murray came from A&M, I think. Yeah. Maybe there's some development there, but let's be honest. Jalen Hurts, he's more of an Alabama product than an Oklahoma product. Y'all claim him, and whenever I talk about him, I'll say he's an Oklahoma quarterback, but he came in and didn't he win a natty for Bama? He's a Bama dude.
I like more, I think.
Anyways, jumping into Texas, Quinn Ewers.
Wait. You telling me he's not Arch?
Yeah, it's not gonna be Arch.
I know.
It's not good. I wish. Well, no, I don't.
Malik?
That'd be cool. I like Malik. Yeah, Quinn Ewers, obviously first team All Big 12, right? I mean, just seems obvious. No, it's not. Here's my thing is I don't think I can fairly choose where he goes. So I'm gonna do my little pitch. Logan, you're gonna decide. 172 completions, 296 yards, 2,177. That's the yards. 58% completion, not amazing. 15 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, 11 sacks, a 132.6 QBR. I'm between pretender and contender on here. And the reason I would say pretender is because he's a highly, highly rated quarterback.
Yeah.
Who had not a very good year. But at the other end of the spectrum, I can say contender because although he's a highly, highly rated quarterback, this was his first year of actually playing after basically having 2 complete seasons of nothing.
Yeah,
well, 1 season of nothing because he completely skipped his high school senior year and then went to Ohio State and did nothing but hand the ball off like 3 times. He came in, he transferred into a new program in like February, and then 6 months later has the starting job. I think there's some development there, but I think there's also a good area to say there wasn't enough time to really develop him the way he should have been developed. That on top of the fact that now he'll have another year under his belt in the same system, same offense, same coordinators.
Yeah.
I think he could be a contender, but fairly based off his season last year. I think Pretender is fair.
See, I'm leaning contender, really. I think I'd actually put him in front of Hunter Deckers just because of the weapons that he's going to have next year. How many games did Quinn miss? 3, 4?
He missed, I think he missed 3 full games, but he missed 3/4 of the Bama game, so almost 4, I think.
I mean, where did he end up for total yards? I done swiped off of it on my phone.
Like in the Big 12
Yeah.
overall? I think
Sixth?
he was
It was
I
sixth,
think he
right?
was 6th.
I mean, if you got 3, almost 4 full games, he'd have more touchdowns. He'd have more yards. Probably, let's say, 1.5 to 2 picks.
He probably would have been right above. I mean, if he had another 715 yards would have put him above Blake Shapen at 4. Could he do that in 3 games? Yeah, 250
Possibly.
yards and 250 yards in
Did he
3
play
and
against? He didn't play against UTSA though.
Yeah, he did.
I thought UTSA was week 3. He got hurt against Bama in week 2.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
No, I'm gonna put him at contender.
Yeah, he had 134 yards in the first quarter against Bama, and then got hurt. Came
was
out
going
and
off
just curb stomped OU. Best game of his season, right? Oddly enough, was passing yards wise. His second best game was against Oklahoma State, which was in everybody else's eyes the worst game that he played. He had 19 completions, 49 attempts, still had 319 yards, and he threw 3 interceptions in that game. So that's a tough game with the win. Coach Sark put him in bad position. His stats look way worse. If he was looking at 15 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, you would just look at the numbers and say, hey, that's not too bad for a first-year starter. But against Washington, after having a month of development and preparation, 31 of 47, 369 yards and a touchdown. And that's with Xavier Worthy dropping about, 120 yards worth of passes on those 2 drops he had. So, yeah.
I think I like how that ended out. Like how it ended up.
Yeah.
The one thing I am questioning is Blake Shapen in front of Dylan Gabriel. But I liked looking at it, and I know it's going to make Jason mad. So I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, I would say, just for transparency of making this as real as possible, from what's been shown on the field, Dylan Gabriel's probably ahead of Blake Shapen. But at the same time, I do stand by what Dylan Gabriel is versus Power 5 teams, and he's just not good.
Yep.
Not that Blake Shapen played amazing, but Blake Shapen showed
it's a whole new offense as well.
And y'all don't have the 5-star receivers.
No returning starters from 2021
from
as
any
far
of
as
your skill positions, right? So I think you put Blake Shapen on that OU's offense last year, and he puts up better numbers than Dylan Gabriel did. So
that's who
I like
Marvin
it.
Mims.
Yeah, I like this. Keep that. I say keep it.
I like it.
With that being said, guys, this is our first tier. We're probably gonna do receivers, running backs, maybe O-line, and then
we're gonna work on making these shorter. But
yeah, well, there's conversation. It's all about putting out why we think and see what plays out. But if y'all enjoyed it, let us know. Let us know what position y'all want us to do next, and maybe we'll not go in order. We can do whatever y'all want. With that being said, like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are about 382-ish last I checked. So we're getting really close to that 500 to do a giveaway there. And then obviously if we can reach 1,000 by September 2nd, we're going to give away a ticket or 2 to a college football game this year. So that will be exciting. You don't have to be a Texas or a Baylor fan to win. Just it'd be more appreciated if you were, so we don't have to buy an Oklahoma fan a ticket to a game. But it is what it is. Jason, I guess technically you are entered to win if we have to do that. So be it. With that being said, appreciate y'all rocking with us. Until next time. Welcome.
Sickle.